was a long-awaited move. The Federal Reserve finally cuts its key interest rate by 0.5 point in an effort to keep the economy moving along. It's a major cut that could have an impact on your bank account. Here to tell us what this can mean for our budget is Cameron McCarty, president of Vivid Tax and Wealth Advisors. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's first start. Why is this cut happening?
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a big one because people say, okay, rate cuts. I mean, what does that mean for me? Well, let's just take a step back. So in 2022, and a lot of reviewers will know this, I mean, inflation was as high as 9.1%. The worst it's ever been in 40 years is what they probably heard in the news. Well, in order to fight inflation, what the Federal Reserve did was they did rate hikes then. Now, the stock market didn't like that. I mean, it was a rough year in 2022. But now, it's falling like a rock. And so their goal is to get inflation to 2%. It is currently just under 3%. Hence, the cuts are here.
So what does this mean? You know, everyone says, okay, we're hearing about this cut. How does it impact my wallet?
Yes, absolutely. So the Federal Reserve has a dual mandate, okay? The first is to inflation. So they're getting to where they're happy with that. And then they also have a dual mandate for jobs. So with the rates cutting, that also means companies can create product, which brings in new jobs, which then brings in revenue. That leads to then consumer spending, which is what the economy wants. 70% of our GDP is consumer spending, so that's a good thing. Now, let's talk about this. So with the rate cuts, there's good and there's bad to this, okay? So CD rates, for example, have been really good. I mean, they haven't been good for so long, but now, like, wow, they're paying over 5%. With these cuts coming, money market funds, CD rates are going to start coming down. So that's the first thing. And the second is mortgages. A lot of people want to know about that. So you got to understand, so the Federal Reserve is more short-term, where, you know, that impacts money markets, credit card, interest rates, that sort of thing. But on mortgages, it's more tied to the bond market, so the 10-year Treasury. I mean, the national average is 6.1%. I recently saw here in Iowa, it's below 6. So that's a good thing.
Right. So people are kind of wondering, what should we do? Should we be looking to refinance? Should we, be calling our credit card companies? What can people do right now?
Yeah, I would. I would make those calls because, again, the Federal Reserve also has a tie to credit card interest rates. We don't want to pay that. Interest is what should pay you, not you paying interest, right?
Right, exactly.
So we want that. The second is, with mortgages. They were high. I mean, they were really, really high. I think a lot of people were waiting, in terms of, okay, do I build? Do I do that construction loan? I mean, these rates aren't bad. I mean, they're not going to go to historical lows, but they're still low. So consider it. I would look at it.
I think the issue is we think back to what once was, and it's hard to look at that sticker shock now.
Right.
Absolutely. So I've heard, you can be prepared to refinance, maybe, do all the back work, but now might not be the exact time. So that kind of is the next question.
Right.
Is this going to continue to go down? Are we kind of holding our breath here?
I'm really glad you said that because the Fed did say, they did a 50 basis point cut. They expect to do more. So there's more good things to come. And so if you're not in that you got to jump on it now, maybe wait a little bit just to see what's going to happen with rates. But people need to understand that the rate cuts aren't exactly tied to mortgages. I mean, there's a lot of variables that come into there, but more rates are coming, and that's a good thing, especially with the stock market.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. All right, Cameron, thank you so much.